What is up, YouTube? It is I, the not Alphonsus of Team Gradelock. Yeah. So we just finished opening up our box of G-BT13, and guys, I'm very, very excited to bring you guys this deck profile because it is personally, I don't know if you guys know this, but around these parts, I am known as the Kagero guy because I really, really enjoy the clan.
But in Canada, he's known as the Superman player.
Yeah, very much. But Kagero is my first clan, my love child. I love this clan so much, and with Overlord getting support, I'm just even more ecstatic.
His Kai erection's pretty high.
So I'm gonna give you guys my deck profile for what is my current build for Overlords. I personally think it's one of the strongest decks to come out of G-BT13. It's going to be in the meta for quite a while.
I say 2 sets.
Maybe a set. I don't know. I don't care. I love this deck so much. Yeah, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Starting Vanguard is going to be Conroe, Legit Soldier Conroe. Effect, Counterblast 1, kill it. Search for any grade 1 or less card you need. It is the tutor. It's the starter to run if you're playing Kagero. It literally searches anything you need. It searches your perfect guards. It searches your heal triggers. It searches for pitch for strides. It searches for Conroe. Whatever you need to run the deck. It in itself is just such a consistent engine that anything else compared towards it for starters is, I want to say, is as good. But, like, you have to, like, compare that starter to this starter to Conroe. And Conroe just overwhelms them in accessibility.
So why not play the new Conroe?
Because that searches for Overlords, but this searches for anything you want. Yeah. Grade 3s, I guess? Yes. I'll go to grade 3s, and I'll work my way from there. Yes. Yes. For SP, no wait, no! They're not SP yet, but I will. For
guys, hit him up if you, or hit me up on Facebook or Team Gradelock if you have SP Destinies you want to.
For Destiny, this card is so freaking busted, I love it. Effect is Soul Blast 1, choose any circle. Circle! That means if that's not on Vanguard, and if there's a rear guard on it, you kill it. So it gets around resist, it gets around block, it gets around anything that's just like, oh, you can't target these shenanigans, and like, no, Destiny, because I can. Other effect is Counterblast 1. When a G unit strides on him, you can Counterblast 1, kill a rear guard, check the top 7 for an Overlord, and add it to hand. So really good on when you're fishing for stuff for your Purge turns and for your Dragonic Overlord, the Ace turns. Super consistent and helps you filter really fast. So this card is the ideal Vanguard to be on in this build, personally. He's just a great card, guys. If you have if anyone has SPs, please hit me up. I really need them. For the backup grade 3s, I run the Legion. Actually, I run 3 copies of Dragonic Overlord the Cross. Legion effect, Legions with Dragonic Overlord the end, and then its effect is Counterblast 1 when an attack does not hit. Sorry, no, when you Legion, search for either a copy of him or Dragonic Overlord the end, add it to hand, and then the other ability is, at the end of the battle that he attacked, if the attack did not hit, then you get to Counterblast 1 and kill 2 rear guards by pitching him as your cost. Reason why we run him is because, spoiler alert guys, we do run the Z-Rare, and in case your Z-Rare turn fails, you at least have Legion to fall back on, so you're not completely dead out of the water. Not only that, guys, can I also say that most of this deck is non-GB, so you really don't care about GB specific cards. It's just beautiful. You can literally run Legion and you'll be fine. Plus, this card is just busted.
Why is it an SP, sir?
Well, one is. Other 2 aren't because, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm not a big fan of the G-BT01 foiling. They're just dots. But, I mean, I'll gladly pick up 2 more. Then, as our other backup grade 3, for the mate, we run... yes, these are SP. We run 2 Dragonic Overlord at the end. Effect is... I mean, you really don't want to ride him. You mainly just want to either pitch him for Ace's cost or put him in the soul for Purge's cost. I mean, he's pretty, though. I love him.
If you ride him, you're kind of sad.
Yeah, if you ride him, you're kind of sad. Unless you go against, like, a grade 1 rush deck, and you manage to get one of these in your hand. Effect is Counterblast 2. If it hits, you pitch a copy of him and restand. We run him because he's pretty and he's Overlord, guys. That and because he's... I mean, he's fine as an early aggression if they don't choose to go to grade 3. But even so, you still want to be on Destiny because you can kill their rear guards because his Soul Blast 1 effect is at the beginning of the ride phase. And when you ride him, so it really doesn't matter. I'm probably going to be... This deck profile is probably going to be a while, but I don't care because I love this deck. It's so much fun. Grade 2s. We run 4 of the new Glow Heater Dragon. He's the new, I like to call it the 10k grade 2s because all clans are basically getting a version of this. Effect is when he's placed on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, you either reveal a card with Overlord in its name, or you have to have a Vanguard with Overlord. If you do not, then he gets minus 5,000. His, which is fine because it's so you don't abuse the fact that if you don't have the grade 3, you can't be super aggressive to your opponent, which I guess, yeah, I understand. The fact that he's a 10k vanilla also helps because not only, because 10k vanillas are normally supposed to be for the early game, but because this one has an effect that says continuous gets plus 2,000 for every one of your opponent's damage, he can also be used for late game as a heavy beater. So in the late game, you don't just have 10k vanillas that just don't do nothing. You actually have something that can hit for numbers, which by himself in the late game, if your opponent's at 5 damage, he's a 20k by himself, which is amazing.
Roar, more dragons.
More Dargans. Okay. Then we play 4 Burning Horn Evolute, Burning Horn Dragon's evolution form. I sadly took out my Dragonic Burnouts for him because, in my honest opinion, he just plays a lot better. Effect is Soul Blast 1 and choose a Overlord card from your hand and reveal it. When he's placed on Rearguard Circle, choose any one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. So it does what Burnout does, but technically does it better because you get to keep the grade 3. Like, if you needed to, like, in order to use Burnout, you would need to do a combination of stuff like Conroe, pitch, reveal, pitch the grade 3, make it the drop zone, then you call the Burnout. But with Evolute, it's literally just Soul Blast 1, reveal the Overlord. You don't need to do anything else besides that. So, really good early game aggression, and then its other ability is plus 2,000 for every one of your opponent's damaged cards. So again, like the 10k Glowhorn, yeah, Glow Heater Dragon. He also is really good in the late game if your opponent's at 5 damage. So, or 4 damage. I mean, 4 damage works fine too. And then we play 3 Nahalims. I want to bump him back up to 4, but the space is really tight right now. Ability is plus 2,000 when you have a grade 4, when you have an Overlord, and then other ability is when your grade 4 Overlord attacks, it gets plus 5,000 power. So on Ace turns, he's a 21k. On Purge turns, he's 16k by himself. On any other turn, on Egon Bird turns, he can be 21k. Just a really solid beater card. As you notice, like all the grade 2s, they all share a common theme, which is just in the late game, hits for big beat sticks. They're all just giant beat sticks, and that's essentially what this deck is now. It's just restand a whole bunch of times, deal your opponent damage, beat their face in. Roar Armor Dragon. Okay, on to grade 1s. 4 unflipping PGs.
Why no full RSP?
Because they don't come in full art SP.
Why no full RSP?
Because, yeah, no, seriously, Bushi, please. Full art SP, please. Unflipping effect if you have one in drop zone. You go through counterblasts a lot in this deck, so you want to be able to unflip as much as you possibly can. And the unflipping PGs help. I guess you could run Dumb Jit if you really wanted to as a replacement, but I just value the unflipping more so than anything else. So I run unflipping PGs at 4. Like I said, Dumb Jit's fine, but you value your counterblasts and you want to try and get them as best as you can. We play 4 of the Lizard General Conroe. Effect is when he's placed on Rearguard Circle, reveal an Overlord, search your deck for any Overlord you want, then discard a card. And then his other ability is you can sack him to give your Vanguard the ability when your Overlord Vanguard swings, you can countercharge too. So on restand turns, like say you go into Ace, you can say you have almost like you only have 2 open counterblasts on an Ace turn, counterblast to 2, sack the Conroe, swing, and then basically all your damage is unflipped. We run him at 4 because you want to try and see him as much as you can, because with the logic is, as long as you see him on the Rearguard Circle, you can literally draw into any of your Overlords that you want, and no matter what you want, you always get the guaranteed Overlord, Overlord card that you will ride into, because you could search it out with Conroe, or you'll just draw into it. So you just do it for consistency's sake. That and because he's a really good card too. I guess that's like the general theme, is that good cards are good. So that's why we run it, because it's a good card.
General, Lizard General, Conroe.
Thanks, Dave. You're such a pal.
Welcome.
We play 4 of the new Doombringer Dragon. Don't be fooled. It's not. It may look like a Griffin, but it's actually a Flame Dragon. I promise. It really says it. It's a Flame Dragon. Ability is when it's placed on rearguard circle, choose up to 2 cards in your drop zone with Overlord in its name and put them back to the bottom of your deck. If you put 1, you shuffle your deck. If you put 2, you get to draw a card. Good to help you recycle Overlords, and especially in the late game, where you can combo it with the cross to keep recycling. Its other ability is you can at the beginning of the ride phase you can sack it, and if you stride into an Overlord card, it counts as a free stride. So when you need to, I mean, it's really bad in Overlord mirror matches. I guess in control matchups in general, because he needs to be on board in order to activate. But on non-control matchups, he's just a guaranteed free stride. So no matter what you stride into, whether it be the Purge or the Ace, you always get some sort of value. And you can keep Grade 3s into your hand, which is another theme in this deck, is that you want to try and keep Grade 3s in your hand, so you can pitch them for Ace or pitch them for Purge. And then we only play 1 pitch for stride, mainly because you're either striding with Eternal Flame, you're striding with Overlords, and if you really need to, for some reason, you can just search him out with Conroe. Pretty self-explanatory. Alright, on the triggers.
Triggered!
Triggered!
Yeah, tomorrow we're doing a Christmas party on we can't bring shit for soda.
Draw triggered?
Yes. I play 4 Gatling Claw. Best draw trigger in the game, guys. If you're not running Gatling Claw, I highly recommend you run it. Ability is Counterblast 1, put it into Soul, choose a Grade 0 rearguard, and kill it. So if you have pesky starters, kill the starters. Pesky triggers, kill the triggers. Pesky whatever, Grade 0s, kill them. Pesky Drans, kill the Drans.
No.
So run it at 4. My recommendation. To that, we also run 2 more vanilla draw triggers, just because we run 6 draws and we want to keep things consistent. Gogi looks 60, and we want to be able to draw into all our combo pieces. We play 4 of the new Fire Chase Dragon. Ability is it's errated in it's worded badly in English. Its effect is when an opponent's rearguard is retired on your turn in the same column as him, you can kill him and then kill the other card in the column. I believe it doesn't target if yeah, it says retire all. So if your opponent has resist on the column that this is in, if one of them isn't doesn't have resist, you can sack this off and kill the other one, so it just gets rid of resist units. So really good for just field wiping. 2 more crits because we run 6 crit. You can run other stuff if you want to. Rakshasha is another good one to run, but I just like it because it looks pretty and it's foily.
But it's still dragon.
Yeah, but it's foily. We run 4 of the new heal trigger Tara. Ability is it's a generic trigger that everyone's gonna get. Ability is you can bind this unit and another copy of it from your drop zone. Put it to bind zone, and you can either soul charge 1 or counter charge 1. You normally want to use it for the counter charge cost because, like I said, Overlord you counter charge a lot, and since you're G-guarding with it anyways, and you do stuff like Nahal, Griffins, and defeat flares, it helps you mitigate resources and helps you get into counterblast that you're gonna need for your turn. Alright, gonna go into G-Zone, guys. I guess I'll do strides first. Yeah, I'll do strides first. Okay. We run 3 Dragonic Overlord the Ace. Ability Counterblast 2, flip a copy of it face up, and then if you're at 2 face-up cards in G-Zone, it gets the restanding ability. When it swings in, you discard a copy of its Overlord and another card from your hand, and you get to restand it, and it gets plus 5,000. It also gets -1 drive, so you only get twin drive when it swings in. Reason why we run 3 of it is because on first stride, theoretically, you can stride into it, counterblast, and if you have the counterblast to do it, counterblast 2, flip up a copy, its skill won't be live, but you can counterblast 2 again since it's an act ability, flip it up again, and then the skill will be active. So then you can do a restanding play on your opponent's first turn stride. Otherwise, you just flip it up with the Purge. And if you have Conroe, then you sack off the Conroe, and then you get all your counterblasts back. Pretty self-explanatory.
Quick question.
What's up?
Would you ever use that for like any other matchup? Like, what's your worst matchup ever?
I mean, if someone's rushing me and they don't have any cards in hand, I'll be like, yeah, I'll be like, okay, let me go to Ace, flip, and now it's restanding, and you have no cards to guard with.
So majority of the time, you want to go your Purge.
Most of the time, you want to go into Purge, or you go into Ascend Grave, like I said. But let me. You either go into Purge or you go into this guy, Ascend Grave Dragon. Ability is Counterblast 1, flip anything face up in the G zone. Gets the ability that if you're in Blaze, when it swings, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, retire it, and draw a card. So it's your normal first turn stride because it's basically a way to break even in a sense. If your opponent really doesn't have anything on board and they're already, like, you really don't want to purge them for some reason, but I highly doubt it, then you go into this. Normally, you just flip him up as cost for purge, in all honesty. He's still a good card, though. And then, of course,
your bread and butter.
My bread and butter. 3 Dragonic Overlord, the Purge. This card is amazing. I love this card so much.
Well, no SP. Why?
Because it doesn't come in SP. It's not an SG rare. We only get him in G rare version. Ability is choose a card from your G zone, flip it face up, choose an Overlord, put it into your soul, deal your opponent a damage, and they cannot get trigger effects with it.
Oh no.
Its other ability is GB3. It gets drive checks for every one of your opponent's damage. So if your opponent's at 3 damage, you get a triple drive. If your opponent's at 4 damage, you get a quad drive. If your opponent's at 5 damage, you get a quintet drive. It's so good for laying on the pressure. I love doing this on first turn stride with them at 3 damage, then put them to 4, then swing in with this. You don't get the drive checks, but you swing in with it, and they theoretically have to guard, because if you get a crit trigger, then you just blow them out of the water. And then you just slap everything on, then you slap your rear guards down, and then you just beat them in the face like that. This card is amazing, guys. I love it so much. Look how sexy it looks. Oh.
We need GR. We need secret GR.
Blue Short, I need SGR version of it. Please, please. Alright.
Egon Bird.
Then we run 3 Egon Bird. Ability is Soul Blast 1. You can flip up a copy of it to choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. And then Blaze, GB3. At the end of the battle that it swings, you counterblast 1. Discard up to the number of cards in your opponent's rear guard circles and restand him and drive -2. Normally, when you go into him, your opponent will have no board. And if you go into him, guys, he's a free restander. Restanding Vanguards. By the way, he also works with Nahal, because technically it has an Overlord name when you're striding onto Overlord. So Nahal can be a 21 beater by itself. It's like Ace. It's so good, guys. Please run Egon Bird. I highly implore it.
You're mean. Why you near Harlem's hitting for 21 by itself?
Yeah. Okay, and then this next card, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. You do not have to run it if you don't have it, okay? I only run it because when all else fails and you need a giant red button, you can hit the giant red button, okay?
Not the giant red button.
We run 1 Drachma. Ability is, it's an ultimate stride. Counterblast 2. Retire everything on your opponent's board, including their Vanguard. They choose 3 cards from their hand, discard 2 of them, and ride 1.
Nani?
The reason why I run it, guys, is because there are some situations I personally believe that just when you need to blow your opponent out of the water and all else fails and you need a giant red button to press, this is the button that you press. If you don't have it, that's totally fine. I understand. You can run the GB8. It's a perfectly good substitute. But me personally, I value the Drachma, so I run the Drachma. On to G-Guardians. Oh, God.
Oh,
yes,
so
guys.
Fun.
1 Absalon. I really like this card, actually. Ability is Counterblast 1. It gets plus 10,000. 10,000 for every one of your opponent's open rear guard circles when their Vanguard attacks. So if they have stuff that, like, they say, oh, you can't guard with grade 1s or higher, but I have no board. Okay, Absalon. It won't hit. I love it so much, I really want to run it at 2. But right now, space is tight. So I might take out my next card. One of my next cards, which is Denial Griffin. I might run, because right now I'm running 3. I might bump down the 1 just to run another Absalon, but 3 is fine. Its ability, guys, if you don't know, is Counterblast 1 when you're choose one of your opponent's attacking rear guards and kill it. Really good. Like, there's a reason why people say, I wish so-and-so had a Denial Griffin clone. I wish this clan had Denial Griffin clone, is because Denial Griffin is really that good of a card, guys. Disruption on your opponent's turn is amazing. Like, I don't know how else to emphasize that. But if you run into Resist, then you're mucho sad face.
Aqua Force.
Aqua Force, no! And then finally, guys, we run the 1 Defeat Flare, because even if they have Resist, I'm still gonna blow up your backboard. I don't care. I don't care. Ability is Counterblast 1. Choose 2 Overlords. Sorry, choose 2 Flame Dragons if you have an Overlord Vanguard. Put them to the bottom of your deck. Grade 3 Flame Dragons. Then retire your opponent's backboard when their Vanguard attacks.
So you're guaranteed to have two grade 3s from the bottom when you drop some.
Yeah, exactly. Not only that, but like you can just if they're like a 33. You kill their backboard, it's technically then a 26 because you're not boosting anymore, and this is a 26. It's also a way to disrupt plays, like if you're going against stuff like Grand Blue and they have like the Negro Bones on the board, then you wipe out the Negro Bones, or if they have Commander Laurel, you wipe out Commander Laurel. If you're going against Shadow Paladins, wipe out their backboard. Like, it's just good for like rogue matchups, I guess.
Like for any deck in general who's heavy rear guard base, like no guard base and things.
Yeah, heavy backboard base. Yeah, definitely. So that's why. And that is pretty much it, guys. Overall, I am in love with this deck right now. It obviously needs more playtesting. If you guys noticed, I don't run Seabreeze in this deck. And that's only because I personally feel like with this deck, because most of the skills are non-GB reliant, you don't need to run Seabreeze in this deck. You can if you want to, that's totally fine. My playtesting right now, as my experience, I'm not running it. And that's totally fine. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I might experiment, maybe go try out stand triggers with the deck. But I'm pretty comfortable with it, how it is right now. Hopefully you guys maybe will see it in a couple match videos. I don't know, because as this deck profile is coming up, I should be in London for like a week.
No, but we'll miss you.
Yeah, I know. I'll miss you guys too. But I'll still watch the channel. Keep an eye on the channel. But if you guys haven't...
English Vanguard cards.
They're the same thing! No. There's no difference.
No. There's some words that look different in them. I'm calling it right now.
They don't smell like tea in England. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. If you have any other questions, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. I am more than happy to talk about Overlords with you guys. I always like having second opinions. Thank you guys for watching as always. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. And we will catch you guys in the next video.